Hi everyone. I am making the crust part of our September baking challenge, the pumpkin cheesecake bars. I'm so excited about this challenge because this is such a good recipe and such an easy recipe, and I have a few tips to show you. So first of all, this is the recipe from Libby's. In a magazine 20 years ago, I have just used it to pieces. I love this recipe. First of all, I want to mention that you use these kind of measuring cups with dry and this kind of measuring cup for wet. That matters in baking a lot. I also want to show you how I measure my flour because I think a lot of times recipes don't work because the flour isn't measured correctly. So I first take my container. I'm sure everybody has some sort of a flour container. I take a dry, clean knife and I just stir it up because it's been sitting on my counter. So the flour has packed down. I'm trying to get it light and airy in there. Okay, you can also, by the way, use gluten-free in this recipe. I'm thinking you can. I've never done it, but this is my very favorite gluten-free flour. And if anybody tries it, let me know how it works. But I think I buy this at Kroger's or H-E-B. I don't know which one, but I love this flour for baking. All right, so you take a big spoon and a plate. Okay, where's my measuring cup? Hang on 1 second. Here we go. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. I thought I had it together here. All right, here it is. All right, so you take it and you spoon your flour into your measuring cup. Very lightly. You don't want it to pack down. You want the flour to just go ahead and fall over the measuring cup, just like that. Then you take a knife and you just level it off. And I just level slowly, filling in any kinds of little cracks or holes, just like that. Now that's your 1 cup of flour. Okay. Now also, this takes 1/3 cup of brown sugar, and I just take my bag, I lay it on the counter, I put my clean measuring cup inside the bag, and I mash it down. And then I take the bag, the top, and I just go back and forth until I feel that it's level. And it just comes out perfect every time. Hands aren't dirty, brown sugar's not all over the counter, and it just works every time. Okay, and if you don't have time to soften your butter, use my little trick and grate it. This has been sitting on my counter for about 10 minutes and it's just always perfect. So I'm gonna take my hands and mix my sugar with my flour. And what we're trying to do is we are trying to make a crumb mixture. So I'm gonna add my butter now. This butter, it works every time, you guys. Just try it, it's so great. It's better than trying to soften the butter. Okay, and now I'm just gonna spoon my flour mixture over the butter. I just wanna coat it real quick so it's not too sticky and greasy on my hands. Now that it's coated, I'm gonna start squeezing. And I'm just gonna squish and squeeze until I get all of the flour and the brown sugar incorporated in that butter. And this is what I'm doing inside the bowl. I'm just squeezing the butter. And look, it's not really even getting on my hands. It's just going right in that flour. Just keep squeezing it until you don't see really any dry, like, you know, dry. It looks like a wet dry, and I'll show you what it looks like. I mean, it takes a couple seconds here. Okay, I think I got it. This is what it should look like. And then I'm gonna add my 1/2 cup of chopped pecans. I roast my pecans and then I keep them in a big bag in my freezer. I think that it makes this really good if you roast them, but you don't have to. All right, at this point, you're gonna take 3/4 of the mixture out and save it for the topping of the bars. And the rest, I have an 8x8 pan. I have lightly sprayed it, and I'm just gonna dump that crumb mixture in there. And at this point, you're just gonna spread it evenly. And then just take your hand and pat it. It doesn't have to be patted hard, just pat it down. And now your crust is done. It's gonna go in a 350 oven for 15 minutes. And then when it comes out, I'll show you in another video how to finish these bars. Okay, everyone. The crust has been out of my oven for about 5 minutes. This is what it should look like, just lightly brown around the edges. All right, it says to cool it slightly, so I think about 5 minutes is fine. And let's go ahead and make the filling. So it calls for, let's see, okay, we're gonna put in our cream cheese. I have had this out for maybe 20-30 minutes. Get it nice and soft. Okay, let's put in our pumpkin, 1/2 cup of pumpkin. So easy, just dump it all in. Okay. Then we have 2 slightly beaten eggs. Make sure you beat them. If anybody saw my other video on the hash brown casserole, it was really funny. You gotta go watch it. I didn't beat my eggs and I got in trouble. All right, now it takes allspice and cinnamon. It takes 1 teaspoon of vanilla. I do want to talk about vanilla for a minute. I always use Mexican vanilla because we went to Cabo every year and I bought it. But I haven't been there in a few years, so I'm out. So make sure you do buy a good vanilla. I am using this one right now, an all natural one. When you open it, okay, and start to pour it, it should just smell like vanilla, just immediately before you put your nose to it. It should be a really good, rich smell. And that matters in your recipes too. Okay, I'm gonna blend all of this up and then I'm gonna come back. I'm back. I wanted to tell you I forgot the sugar. Oh my goodness, here it goes. 3/4 cup of sugar. All right, now I'm gonna blend it all. Okay, you guys, I blended this probably for, a good 2 minutes. And it got a little bit thick and all the cream cheese chunks are nice and smooth. Make sure you're scraping down your bowl and then you just pour this over your warm crust. It smells so good and it hasn't even started baking. I'm so excited about all the smells of cinnamon and pumpkin in my kitchen this fall. I cannot wait. All right. Smooth that out. This really is easy. I can't wait for you guys to try it. You're gonna be so happy with it, okay? And then you have that reserved 3/4 cup of your topping or your crust, and we're gonna just sprinkle that now over the whole top. This makes such a crunchy, yummy top to this topping. Okay, got it pretty even. Just use your little hands and get in there and cover all your pumpkin mixture. All right, this goes back in the oven, I think for about 30-35 minutes. And I will, let me let you see what it looks like now. I will show you when it comes out, but this is what it should look like now. All right, you guys. Okay, I'm back. I actually baked this for 40 minutes. And what you're looking for is just a really light brown, just around the edges like this. and a light brown on the sides like that. Now these are still a little hot. I've only let them cool, 10 minutes. You should really let them cool completely, but for time's sake, I'm gonna go ahead and I hope they cut. I've never cut them warm like this, but I wanna show you guys what they look like. And I think they will actually cut better and come out better when they're nice and cool. But I just want to give you a quick idea of what they look like when they come out. I mean, they smell, the whole kitchen smells good. So this is them. Now they cut so nice and in perfect little squares where you can stack them when the bars are nice and cool. Let me grab a fork. Oh no, I can use this. But it's just so, can you see it good? It's just so yummy. So I want you guys to make these and post me a picture. I'm serious, you will not be disappointed. Let the fun begin.